Hey everybody, Renaissance Gamer here. Today I'm tasked with something far larger than myself. I'm here to share with you what separates Skyward Sword from all other Zelda games. What not only makes this one of the greatest games ever made, but one of the best stories that will last throughout the ages. Why do we tell stories? One could go as far back as ancient Greece to hear the tale of the Odyssey, or as close as the late 70s to experience the beginning of Luke Skywalker's famous journey. Great epics tell of stories and struggles that are essential to our existence as humans. That's why we continue to tell them. And you know what? Skyward Sword embodies what video games exist for. You're taken away to experience a journey that's bigger than yourself. You struggle side by side amongst your closest friends and see that through this veil of darkness that you are part of a greater destiny. If you're a historian, then this epic was the Odyssey. If you're a science fiction fan, then it was Star Wars. And if you are a Legend of Zelda fan, then it was The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Where do I start? How do I portray to you all the emotions and real feelings that this game gave to me and all others? This goes beyond a mere listing of aspects that I thought the game did well. Yeah, this game has a beautiful musical score, a stunning visual style, and an immersive plot unlike any other Zelda game. I mean, not to mention such amazing characters like Groose, Gideon, and Zelda. So here's a list for all of you who care about that sort, but I'm going to tell the tale of Skyward Sword as it came to me. My goal is to relay this epic on an emotional and passionate level, and to point out the brilliant aspects as I go. It may make me a biased game analyzer, but I'll be damned if I ruin the game by heartlessly analyzing facts and pushing away all other human emotion. Like a good book, Skyward Sword loses its purpose if you're not ready to experience it, and that's what we're going to do. Let's go! Skyward Sword begins as any other simple story does, in a quiet village far out of harm's way. But this day would change all of that. You see, centuries ago, a great war was fought between the goddess Hylia and the forces of destruction, and the resolution of this fated battle would all fall upon the small, calm village of Skyloft. Link awakes as the player learns that Link is a student in the Knight Academy this time around, and today happens to be the wing ceremony. It is at this point that Link shuffles out of bed and finally meets up with Zelda. Link and Zelda have the most intimate relationship yet in this Zelda game, as Link and Zelda are just childhood friends. You see, the emotion in their faces reveals a level of comfort and connection that would remind the player of someone just like that in their own life. The connection between them is authentic and really gives a realistic foundation to the entire game. For once, Link is just not a hero or adventurer, he's merely a real person. Anyway, Link later learns that his Loftwing is missing, and he's pressed to find it before the ceremony begins. This is when Link meets Groose. Groose, well, he's an idiot. He's cocky, rude, and self-centered. Man, the minute I saw him, I just wanted to smack him in the face. Which is why I love how this game lets you choose selections of dialogue. It adds an even more personal element that really highlights each character's personality. Deep down, Groose is just totally jealous of Link and Zelda's relationship. But he's an idiot, so who cares? Then the story continues as Link proceeds to find his Loftwing and wins the wing ceremony. This is it. This is the moment Link has been waiting for so long. Not only did he prove himself as the champion, but now he gets to spend time with Zelda atop the statue of the goddess. It's not hard for the player to find themselves in Link's boots. This pleasant and intimate moment beautifully summarizes how Link and Zelda really feel about each other. Zelda is as goofy and fun-loving as ever, and Link is as shy as ever, but they both feel a deeper connection. It's beautiful. Flying among the clouds, Link and Zelda hold a moment that could last forever, but it doesn't. Just as quickly as they held each other's gaze, it was lost in an instant. Zelda's torn away in a storm, and Link, despite his best efforts, blacks out. Just like that, he lost the one person he was closest to, and he was powerless to save her. This emotion is not only apparent in Link's face, but also in the player's heart. Link falls asleep, and after a strange dream, Link ventures into the Isle of the Goddess. Here Link encounters his destiny, and fate. There's a point in every epic tale when the hero gets the help of a wiser, older power. In the Odyssey, Odysseus had Athena, and in Star Wars, Luke had Ben Kenobi. In Skyward Sword, Link has Fi. Fi acts as the voice of destiny, as she continually guides Link in the right direction. The robotic lack of emotion in her voice quickly establishes her as something unique. divine even. Link must be completely consumed by both grief and anger at the loss of Zelda. But Fi's emotionless guidance reminds the player that an unstoppable fate is at work. Fi is able to keep Link moving forward at a time when it would probably be easier for him to fall on his knees in pain. After this moment, there is no turning back. Fate has moved all the pieces into place, and now Link takes a moment with Zelda's father to watch the world be changed forever. Like Luke leaving Tatooine and Frodo leaving the Shire, once Link leaves Skyloft, life will never be the same. And this all just fell on him. Now he has to protect his home, save a father's lost daughter, save his best friend, the love of his life. It's not often when a game can make a player just stop what they're doing and take all this in. It's the point when a story becomes real, when a game stops being a game and becomes an experience. Link readies himself and sets off to fulfill his destiny. Passing through the cloud barrier, Link sees the world open up before him as he eventually descends upon the sealed grounds. Link befriends a mysterious old woman who points him into the direction deep inside Faron Woods. Unlike many other Zelda games, in this journey Link has to overcome the many trials and puzzles of Faron Woods before ever setting foot in a temple. But he does overcome these obstacles. Not before long, Link comes across a man deep within the temple. Very few scenes in games set up an antagonist as well as this first encounter between Link and Girahim does. Every step they make contains so much emotion, it appears that fate placed these two on an unstoppable crashing course. Link used to have such a peaceful life. Zelda used to be so happy, but something changed all of that, and now all Link wants to do is see Zelda's sweet face again. Standing in front of him now, this man changed all of that. Girahim reveals to Link that he came here to capture Zelda, and he even comments that he's surprised to see that Link survived the storm. Link has to stand here and listen as the man who's responsible for all of his pain arrogantly boasts that Zelda's life will be his, while at the same time Girahim writhes in frustration that Zelda escaped and is more than eager to take out his anger by beating Link within an inch of his life. Fate placed these two men in this room, and every interaction between the two reminds the player that Link will do whatever it takes to find and protect Zelda. Never has a Zelda game shown this much emotion before, and this brief scene does so beautifully. Girahim eventually flees after he grows tired of toying with Link, and Link and Fi make their way to the temple's sanctuary. Here the player is reminded that hope is still alive, as Fi translates the words of the gods of old. Fi's beautiful movements inspire Link and the player, a graceful scene to ease the tension from the battle with Girahim. The majesty of this moment just settles on the player. The musical score and stunning visual presentation remind the player of what they've been through. It also hints to an even more dangerous future. Link does push forward, and he quickly battles his way through the dangerous landscape of Elden Volcano, but fate intervenes again, in one of the most painful scenes in the game. Link conquers the temple atop Elden and rushes into the temple's sanctuary, and in the sanctuary is the one person he risked everything for, Zelda. Except their reunion is short-lived. Link's happiness fills the room, and Zelda has that familiar smile on her face once again, but things are different now. You see, Zelda has her own destiny to fulfill. For the first time, she has her own quest to complete, a quest that means that she must now turn her back on Link, without even uttering a word. And you know why Zelda has to leave? Because Link failed. He failed to save Zelda. He was too late. If Impa hadn't have intervened, then Zelda would have been lost forever, captured by Girahim. Link should have been there, but he wasn't. Impa's words sting deep and echo in the player's heart. For the first time in Zelda history, the player doesn't feel a sense of accomplishment. Link conquered Elden, but he could have been faster. The player knows that they could have been faster. Impa's words pull the player into the game and make them feel the full weight of their actions. They are forced to feel the pain of failing to save someone dear to them, a pain few should have to feel. Few scenes in games or movies have brought me to silence like this scene has. But Link has to somewhere find the strength to continue. There's no way that he can accept the fact that he failed both his destiny and Zelda, so he pushes into the wind-battered region of the Lanayru Desert. Here Link encounters some of the most brilliant puzzle mechanics in the entirety of the Zelda franchise. The ancient desert is riddled with devices called time stones, and upon activation, these devices send everything within their radius back into the past. A past before the harsh desert destroyed a great civilization. Using the Time Stones to reactivate lost technologies and alter the landscape, the Lanayru Desert allows Link to prove that he is indeed the fated hero of the goddess. And beyond the brilliant challenges in the gameplay that the Time Stones present, they also remind the player that the past isn't lost forever. The fluid mixings of past and present reminds the player that they are part of something larger than themselves. This battle began centuries ago, and the player knows that they are destined to play a part in its resolution. The air holds still as Link quietly walks into the sanctuary. Faron, Eldin, and finally Lanayru. Link conquered all these areas so he can prove himself as the hero of destiny, to make a statement that he will never fail her again. Zelda and Link make eye contact. I can't even imagine how badly they want to feel each other's warm embrace again, how much they have to share with each other. But then, the entire world seems to shake as Girahim leaps onto the scene. The frenzy of the moment just explodes at the player and really makes all of the chaos feel so real. Every movement by Girahim shows such determination and confidence. It's truly an intimidating moment. Before long, Girahim and Impa clash in battle, and the player feels that they are watching two gods lock in an eternal conflict, as the story of good versus evil seems destined to repeat itself. As their destinies unfold before their very eyes, Zelda and Link take a moment to look at each other. So much has happened. It feels like just yesterday that they stood atop the statue of the goddess, taking in all the peace of Skyloft. But now things couldn't be any more different. All of that is gone, and they both realize the roles that they are to play in this epic tale. In a flurry of emotions, Link launches himself in front of Girahim. Fate, it seems, dictates that their paths be eternally crossed. But Link distracts Girahim for just long enough, and Impa and Zelda flee through the Gate of Time. The player can feel the authentic connection between the two, as before Zelda leaves, she turns to Link and promises that they will indeed see each other again, that their story doesn't end here. Just like that, Link survives yet another encounter with the full force of evil. Whatever doubts he had in the role he was to play in all this disappear, as he now understands that the battle is only beginning. The Gate of Time may be destroyed, but he must find another way to reach Zelda before Girahim does. You see, there comes a point in every journey when the hero accepts that they might not return, that their journey is a long one, filled with all the perils and unimaginable foes that might just stand in their way. Link has to protect Zelda. He doesn't know why, but he can see that she's the key to changing this world forever. That's the essence of Skyward Sword. It's the difficult journey that we all have to make in our lives. Link sacrificed so much, but no matter what, he could not stop. He could not give up. And just like our own real lives, Link is not alone in this journey of his. Link has to use the harp Zelda gave him to unlock the songs of the goddess, powerful songs that lead him throughout the world, completing trials of spiritual growth and fusing his blade with the 30 sacred flames. He does all of this so he can unlock the latent power of a second Gate of Time, all so he can follow Zelda in her destiny. But he couldn't have done it alone. That was always the point. Skyward Sword puts the player through a myriad of emotions, but it always reminds the player that they are not suffering alone. Every time Link opens his sailcloth, he is reminded of the bond he and Zelda share. Every time Link becomes lost, he has the guidance of Fi to light a path through the darkness, and even grooves. Link has to fight back the reincarnation of evil, the imprisoned, and every time he does so, the fate of the world is at risk. A world shared by so many people, so many different stories. And Groose reminds Link that this is a world worth fighting for, and that this responsibility does not have to be his alone. Groose started out as nothing more than a jerk, an egoistic and rude jerk, but he had a journey too, a journey that transformed him. He risked his own life to follow Link to the surface, and soon realized the gravity of what was happening. You see, Groose really does care about Zelda. He may show it in an entirely different way than Link, but he really does. And although Groose feels way out of his own depth once he sees the role that Link has to play, he stays back with the old woman, knowing that he has a role to play in all of this too. And with his friends at his side, Link once again conquers the many challenges that Faron, Eldin, and Lanayru have to offer. The Lanayru Sansi was especially impressive, as the masterful use of past and present proved once again to be quite the adventure for Link. This is it! As the power of all of the sacred flames flows through his blade, Link proves himself to the goddesses and resurrects the legendary Master Sword, the power to repel all evil and reach Zelda. Nothing has been able to stop Link thus far. Even a second clash with Girahim found Girahim underestimating Link once again. As Link prepares to walk through the Gate of Time, Link and Groose can see how far both of them have come. Groose knows that Link is the only one with the power to reach and save Zelda, so he promises to protect the old woman Granny, as Link says hi to Zelda for the both of them. Link has come so far. Unbeknownst to Zelda, Link had to overcome the challenges of the goddesses, known as the Silent Realms. The Silent Realms harmonize perfectly with the turning point in Link's journey. Link set off to forge the legendary Master Sword and reseal the imprisoned, knowing very well that he could fall at any point. This fear and suspense was reflected beautifully in the gameplay of the Silent Realms. Every corner Link turned had him haunted by the Watchers and Guardians. If he was ever seen, the music would change to reflect the fear and panic that Link would feel. This atmosphere perfectly captured Link's growth as a hero and the dangers that went along with it. But it turns out Link wasn't the only one who fulfilled his role. Zelda too discovered the role she was to play in all this. A role that does have the power to change the world. Zelda is the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia. Zelda, your best friend. But now, what? Link knew Zelda was special. He always knew this. He could always see it. But the goddess Hylia? As it turns out, centuries ago, the goddess Hylia gave up her immortal form so that the embodiment of evil could never be reawakened. But her seal has weakened, and the Demon King Demise is beginning to escape. That being, the imprisoned, that's Demise himself attempting to break free. And he grows stronger every moment. He is going to break free. But there is a way to reinforce Demise's seal, the Triforce. Only the power of the sacred Triforce can seal Demise away. If that's all it takes, then great. Link will find the Triforce. All he has to do is learn the Song of the Hero. But there's a catch. The seal, it won't hold. Link won't have the time to find the Triforce unless... You see, Zelda is the reincarnation of the goddess Hylia. Her blood is the same blood that created the seal on Demise all those years ago. There's only one way to reinforce that seal, and Zelda will enter an infinite slumber. This is the only way. As long as Demise has the opportunity to escape, Zelda will never wake, or else the whole world will be lost. No, this can't... Link overcame all the challenges of the lands. He defeated every enemy he faced. He proved himself to the gods themselves. This can't be what his fate really is. Zelda promised that they would see each other again. This can't be what she meant. The player is forced to feel the insufferable pain of having to say goodbye to the one person that they never thought they would have to say goodbye to. Is this what it means to be a hero? It's always been about Zelda. All of this. Link is the hero, but for the first time, Link plays a supporting role. He knows that Zelda is the key to a better world, and all he has to do is protect her. The Song of the Hero, fine. The Triforce, done. Zelda's always been there for Link. She never gave up on him. And now she needs him. She needs Link to help her this time. Link is the hero. Now it's his turn to save the world. Zelda has already given up everything. What more can she do? Nothing can keep the two apart. If one thing in this story is true, that is it. As Zelda stood frozen in stone, with her last chance at seeing the world again placed into Link's hands as he searches for the Triforce, tell me, is there not something precious in your own life that you would risk all to protect? Skyward Sword brings this reality to life, and the player can see that their bond is an unbreakable one, a bond that makes a long life so rich. All Link needs to do to keep that is the Triforce. So Link travels far and wide. He meets some of the world's most ancient beings, learns some of its most ancient secrets, but keeps Zelda always in his mind. Without Zelda, Link would never have left Skyloft in the first place, never would have had his magnificent journey. Link left Skyloft in search of Zelda, so it's poetic that now his search to save Zelda brings him back, to conquer the final temple in the heart of Skyloft itself. In a way, Skyloft is more than just their home. Skyloft is their journey. Its story and history have always been their own. The goddess Hylia created Skyloft to protect the Triforce and her people, and now that Link has become the hero of legend, he will use Skyloft and the Triforce to save Zelda once and for all. That's right, Link finds the Triforce atop the statue of the goddess, and with it, he wishes the statue to return to the Earth, burying Demise in his prison forever, never to harm anyone again. As the dust clears, Link looks out, knowing now that nothing stands between him and Zelda. Although he could not stop her from drifting away, now he can be the one to bring her back. After all, Link has always been her hero, and Zelda, his goddess. But Link isn't the only one with a role to play. Oh, you see, Gidihim and Link are indeed on a crashing course of destiny, and their fates are irreversibly tangled. However, as long as Gidihim breathes, Demise is alive. Demise can be reborn. It was Link who underestimated Gidihim this time. Gidihim has a job to do. Oh, such a difficult job, darling. Demise may be sealed forever in the present, but he lives in the past. And Zelda, oh sweetie. Oh yes, she is still the key, but she won't give her life to kill Demise, to seal Demise, but to revive him. Oh Zelda, you were so close. Zelda was the true savior of the world in Skyward Sword. That was such a first for the Zelda series, honestly. But it just wasn't meant to be. Perhaps she's never died before because she's never gone up against the likes of Gidihim before. Link has failed Zelda already, so it comes as no big surprise that Zelda will die and Demise will be risen on her corpse. And Link, well, I never pointed this out much, but Gidihim held back. He could have killed Link at any point during their previous two encounters, but he grew bored. Merciful even. Although should Link interrupt a third time, well then, Gidihim will just have to stain the threads of their fate red, as Link bleeds out to the site of Zelda's greatest sacrifice. No. That can't happen. This is not how the story will end. As the player, we have sat back and watched this for too long. Too long have we watched as this abomination has threatened the world that we hold so dear. Zelda is not Gidihim's. She is not weak. She will not die here. Zelda is the light who will pierce through this veil of darkness. Link won't let that happen. Gidihim's the one who will die here. Link will give up everything for her, for Zelda. Even the darkest of hells cannot stop him. Gidihim was right. The threads of their fate will be soaked red with blood, but he was foolish to think the blood would be Link's. own story is haunting in its emotion. Link, the righteous fool, failed to see past Giddeem's deception for the last time. Giddeem may have fallen in battle, but he erupts into a hysteric laughter as he boasts of his victory. All Giddeem needed to do was stall, as his spell continued to drain Zelda's life and feed his lord demise. Much like the Joker in The Dark Knight, Giddeem can't truly lose. He is an agent of terror, a sword to be held in the right hand of madness itself. The player can't help but feel the cruel irony, as just as Fi serves as the sword to vanquish Giddeem, Giddeem would actually serve as the sword to slaughter Link and all that he holds dear. Giddeem knew this all along. This is what he meant when he said he would stain the world red with its own blood. Demise would serve as the hero's last, fated test. But Demise? Who is Link to fight against the pure manifestation of destruction? How can he stand alone in triumph? Is that possible? No, not alone, Link thinks, as the terror evaporates from his heart. The Skyward Sword doesn't need a stoic hero to fight by himself. If this world is to be saved, then everybody, Groose, Impa, Link, Zelda, everybody will fight. It's beautiful what people can do together. Demise himself grins as he realizes that not all humans will cower before him, that many understand that theirs is a world worth fighting for, and they will fight. So calmly, Demise agrees to fight Link for the fate of the world, allowing Link to look his friends in the face, for perhaps the last time. Thanks. I speak for everyone when I say that it's been quite an adventure. So many memories. Never has a Zelda game, since Majora's Mask, placed so much weight on Link's shoulders. His life is not the only one at stake, and the game has made that clear. Perhaps it's just me, but stepping into the portal felt real. I knew that finally, a battle long postponed would be resolved, and it was up to me, for the last time, to save everybody. Destiny, fate, friendship, good, evil, love. All of these powers drove Link to this point, but here at the story's end, something does not feel right. Standing before this timeless expanse, breathtaking in its beauty, something just feels familiar. Yeah, familiar. You can see it in their faces, in their eyes, flowing through their veins, in their very souls. What does all this mean? Why does this battle feel like it is only beginning? There's something else to all this, isn't there? Link has overcome every obstacle that has blocked his path, but he's different, isn't he? Why does it feel like he isn't blocking anything? That he is Link's path. Demise. No title. No introduction. All you know is that whatever flows through his veins isn't normal. It isn't of the gods. Nothing else exists right now. No matter what happens here. Even if Link falls before Demise and never returns from battle, nothing will erase from legend the stories of Groose, the stories of Link, and the stories of Zelda. This will be their legend. The legend of Zelda. That's it, isn't it? It's all finally over. Demise has been defeated, the world's saved. Link is the hero of legend. He did everything they asked, he even saved the goddess Hylia. The goddess Hylia. I think Link has somewhere to be now. A reunion long overdue. Zelda, Link thinks. Is she okay? Demise has been defeated. Has she awakened from her slumber? What about Groose? Are they together? Are they okay? What? You know, at times like this, even I don't know what to say. All Link has thought about was saving Zelda, protecting her from all this madness. But now that she's saved, it's impossible to express how happy he feels. Well, I implore all of you to take a look at this scene. Zelda and Link gaze into each other's eyes, while Groose cracks a sly old joke about this being only a part of the legend of Groose, while Impa tells Groose that he too fought heroically. This is more than just a reunion of adventurers. This is a group of friends. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Link's never been alone. These are his friends, his family, his home, finally. But I guess even the best of friends must eventually say goodbye. Fi was entrusted within the Skyward Sword to guide Link through all the perils that they faced and all the battles that they fought. She always stood by his side, helping him to become the hero of legend. But now, with the goddess Hylia, Zelda, protected, and Demise Reborn defeated, her task is complete. And you know what that feels like, don't you? Knowing something must eventually come to pass, but never actually thinking it would happen. In the back of your mind, knowing what's inevitable, but never realizing it. Well, Fi realized it, and now she must say goodbye. Forever. She has one more thing to say. Fi is incapable of understanding human emotion. She is not human. But she knows that the memories shared between her and Link will always be the most precious among all her data. Link, she says to him as she fades within the Master Sword, thank you. I don't know what to feel, but I guess if another hero is to hold the sword, it's comforting to know that Fi rests inside, always to be at Link's side throughout every single journey he is to face. Thank you, Fi. I guess all that's left to do is to return through the gate of time to the present, to their own time. But Impa turns to Zelda and tells her that she cannot go. As a member of the Sheikah, it's her sworn duty to protect the Triforce. Tearfully, Zelda gives her one last gift to remember her by. But if one thing is to be taken away from this game, it's that past and present are irreversibly tangled, and that the strongest friendships can't even be broken by the passings of time. And even our time has now come to pass, with the end of our little story. But I've always wondered, looking at Middle-earth from the backs of the eagles, what do you think Frodo saw? Or celebrating with the Ewoks on Endor in front of his father's corpse, what do you think Luke was thinking? I've often wondered what makes the end of an epic so special, but I think now I understand. In the passings from Zelda's capture by Gidahim's tornado to the moment when Link pressed the Master Sword deep within Demise's chest, a great story was unraveled. If you were asked how to explain what friendship really means, you might stumble on your words. But thinking long and hard, you might remember the bond between Zelda and Link, and Groose too. And what does fate mean to you? A question hard pressed, but I know its answer lies within the examples of Fi and Link and Gidahim. My point is, at the end of an epic, looking back, you know that all the emotions you felt, all of the bonds that you created, and all that you risked will forever be immortalized within the words of your story, within the words of this story. I guess that's what makes them so captivating, because at the end of the day, a good epic story contains the human spirit, and that's why we continue to tell them. And I hope you'll continue to tell this story of The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword. Hey guys, Renaissance Gamer Noah here. I really hope you liked this video. I poured my heart and soul into it. The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword has always been my favorite. It's hard to explain, but I guess it takes me around 38 minutes to do so. The game is just so beautiful. It contains so much of what I love about being a human. Just the adventures we go on, the bonds we share, and the pain we feel. This game captured that beautifully for me, and I played it at just the right time in my life. I hope I was able to convey some of that to you guys. That was my goal of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I want to make more emotional type gaming videos in the future. To me, this is the kind of stuff that really makes them works of art. Well, I think that's enough for this video. It's been long enough already. If you really liked it, feel free to check out the rest of my channel and throw some support my way. That'd be awesome. But more importantly, just share your love of video games with the greater video game community. That's what it's all about. Alright, Renaissance Gamer Noah here. Take care.